get set. Where them haters, where them hoes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
Thanks to YouTube recommendation, I just found a channel by someone named Ramsey Dewey. He is a martial artist who looks like he's in China. Now, I liked his video, Kung Fu in China Isn't What You Think. Something with that type of title. And I'm just going to lift a couple of things from that fair use because I thought he had some interesting insights on the state of Taekwondo in China and the state of Kung Fu in China. And it's not what you think.
The state of martial arts today in China, the most popular martial art in the People's Republic of China is Taekwondo. WTF, World Taekwondo Federation, Olympic-style Taekwondo is by far the most popular martial art in China today. Why? Because it's an Olympic sport. Man, if the Chinese get excited about anything, it's winning the Olympics. And so, man, if...
Not just people in China, people period get excited about winning the Olympics, winning any sort of contest. So to me, it's not a surprise that WTF is most popular in China. Taekwondo is the most popular martial art in the world. And what I'm doing is pretty much based on not WTF, ITF Taekwondo, General Choi's forms. But if the Korean government is sanctioning WTF, South Korean government, sanctioning WTF, and you can go to the Olympics with WTF, and it looks cool to do a bunch of kicks in the head, people are going to gravitate towards that. With as much as people complain about what's real, what's not, what's good in the martial arts, what's fake or whatever, I've always felt like people are going to believe in whatever they see on television. So if you notice the martial arts that people tend to think are the good ones or are the real ones, they're usually whatever martial arts were popular on television, either now or when they were a kid. So we pretty much just let ourselves be brainwashed by media. And I've always thought that if people went to China, that young people will probably think that classical martial arts or traditional Chinese martial arts, they probably would think that's old-fashioned, old-timey, and that's just for old people. While they're going to want to do whatever is hitting and most popular in the world, particularly whatever you can get a trophy or a medal for. So Mr. Dewey Ramsey pretty much says the same thing. Is it Ramsey Dewey or Dewey Ramsey? It's Ramsey Dewey. So Mr. Ramsey Dewey pretty much shares what I had intuited, even though I've never been to China. So let's take a look at that.
Once in a while, you'll find a surviving old guy who still knows how to fight, who trained in Kung Fu back in the day when people used to spar and do that stuff for real, right? Where they put their knowledge to the test. Instead of just dance fighting, instead of just doing forms. But those guys are rare and they're dying off. And again, like I said, the younger generation is not continuing the tradition. So again, there's going to be a massive difference culturally between any one generation that suffers and the next generation that doesn't. So same thing with Kung Fu. The older generation, why did they learn Kung Fu? Because they needed to. Right? That stuff was useful. That stuff was useful back then. Hey man, imagine a world without guns. Martial arts gets a whole lot more useful there.
Now, before anybody thinks that I'm using this video to try to pick on the generation/cultural gap between the old and the young in China, you don't know me very well, do you? If you want an analogy, you can look at my own ethnic group. At one point, we had jazz, blues. That was as black as it got. Now, you don't see young people going after jazz and blues like that. You see young people going after hip-hop. So I want to know what's going to happen when hip-hop becomes a thing for old people. What are the young people going to do next? Looks like the same thing's happening with martial arts. Definitely in the United States. A lot of us that did a karate or kung fu or judo or jiu-jitsu, when we were young, we did that. Now the young people want to do MMA. Boxing is still hanging around, as is wrestling. But I think wrestling is only hanging around because it's in schools. It's in high schools with the young, with the youth. And you have college wrestling. But after that, adults that compete in those things, if they don't go to the Olympics, they'll tend to switch over to your judo or to a jiu-jitsu. And this also makes me think of one thing where you see a lot of people that'll criticize, especially me, because they'll say, you never went to the country where your art was from to know it, so you don't really know it. Why? Why do I need to do that when I have not exhausted all of the grandmasters who are in the United States? I haven't even exhausted all the knowledgeable martial artists that are in the DC area, that are in Maryland. Although I did eventually travel out of state to go to the last George Dillman camp. But why do I, quote unquote, need to go over there when their masters over here? So, I mean, my point is, which this isn't necessarily the point he was trying to make, but I thought it alluded to the point I'm making here is there are plenty of people right where you are who can give you what you need and you can learn. So don't assume that going back to the land of where the art is from is going to guarantee that you're going to find the highest levels of the art. It may be no easier finding a higher level master there than it would be where you are. So I would say exhaust everything that's where you are first and is closer to you first before you feel like you have to go overseas. Now, if you just want to travel, I mean, hey, that's why I would do it. I would say, if you just want to travel, then go ahead. So thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with people who like to talk about the martial arts. Go check out the video that I'm referencing in this one. It's a pretty cool channel, pretty interesting video. He goes into a lot more stuff about MMA and K1 fighting and everything overseas. And peace.